Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Derek Martinez. A man police say was involved in a double homicide in New Philadelphia has been released from prison. Officials say 19-year-old Lamore Branch was released from prison on Monday after his bail was reduced to $10,000 during the hearing last week. Police say Branch's property was searched as part of an investigation into the deaths of 16-year-old Angelito Xavier Caraballo and 18-year-old Hunter Mock. Although police have not named Branch as a suspect in the homicide, the search warrant claimed he was connected with the case. A preliminary hearing has been scheduled for Branch on December 5th in connection with a different case. In that case, Branch faces charges of burglary, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. Pennsylvania State Police in Hazleton responded to Banks Township Monday evening for reported stabbing. Officers say they were called to Berwick Street at approximately 10 p.m., where they found two individuals. The suspect, later identified through the investigation as 24-year-old Nashir Dobson, and a 41-year-old male victim who was stabbed in the leg at the residence. It was discovered by troopers that the victim had arterial bleeding. Troopers say they applied a tourniquet to the victim's leg, and the victim was transported to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest. Dobson was then taken into custody and charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, and attempted homicide. Dobson is currently behind bars at the Carbon County Jail. Troopers say the investigation into this incident is still ongoing. A request to seek the death penalty has been withdrawn for a suspect in the Shenandoah homicide case. Nathaniel Kimball of Gerardville has been charged after allegedly stabbing his ex-girlfriend, April M. Mahmoud, 61 times in August of 2020. Police say that Kimball was waiting for Mahmoud to return home from work in the early hours of August 20th, 2020. Kimball then attacked the victim inside her home, and Mahmoud ran to her uncle's house next door. Kimball continued to repeatedly stab the victim until a neighbor shouted at him to stop. Mahmoud was pronounced dead at the scene, and Kimball was apprehended later in the day. Kimball has been charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, criminal homicide, and other related charges. Kimball is currently behind bars at the Schuylkill County Prison without bail. A non-jury trial is scheduled for December 5th. No. 9 Coal Mine and Museum in Lansford held a press conference on Monday announcing upcoming plans. During the event, the construction site was displayed for an approximately $4 million project. We spoke with Panther Creek Foundation President Zachary Petrosky, who told us all about it.
We're about halfway through a 10-year project to restore, more or less for an exhibit, two historic mine fans that we received from the Dorrance Kyrie located outside near Wilkes-Barre. These fans are significant because they were state-of-the-art at their time. They were some of the largest steam-powered mine ventilation fans that existed in the anthracite region. One being 35 feet tall makes it among the largest. The 35-foot tall fan from 1884 may also be the last of its kind in the continental United States. Even by the 1920s, that design had already started to become obsolete. So these were a fleeting glimpse of the early part of the anthracite mining industry.
Petrosky also told us about the process after getting the fans out of Wilkes-Barre.
They needed to be preserved as they were registered with the Historic American Engineering Record. So they were ideally not supposed to be destroyed. But it was a hazardous abandoned mine site outside the city of Wilkes-Barre. So through DEP's Bureau of Abandoned Mine Reclamation, grant funding was available to not only reclaim that site, because BAMR funding is reclamation dollars, state dollars, and federal dollars, but then to get the fans out to a place where they can be put back together in an exhibit so that they were preserved, but also the site was reclaimed.
According to Petrosky, coal has many uses.
So the valley has a rich history of mining, both in the past and in the present, because anthracite coal today is a main component for steel manufacture. It is shipped globally for that purpose. Filter media, wastewater treatment carbon filters can be made from this. So there are other uses of it versus just being a fuel, as always is thought of with coal. It has a future to it versus being a fossil fuel that is burned.
The No. 9 Coal Mine held the press conference on Monday, November 20th at 11 a.m. in Carbon County. The mayor of Stroudsburg is facing DUI charges after he ran out of gas, according to police. Officers say they discovered a disabled vehicle in the area of North Broadway and Constitution Avenue in Wind Gap Borough on September 11th around 3 in the morning while they were on patrol. According to the Slate Belt Regional Police Department, Michael Moreno, the current mayor of Stroudsburg, was eventually identified as the driver of the vehicle. Police say Moreno ran out of gas and requested assistance. Officers say they soon saw indications that Moreno was under the influence of alcohol. Moreno was asked to perform a field sobriety test and it was determined that he could not safely operate the vehicle. As a result, he was taken into custody. Moreno agreed to submit a sample to the Bethlehem DUI Center, where police say his blood alcohol content was 0.2. Moreno faces charges of DUI, highest rate of impairment, and general impairment, with his preliminary hearing set for January 10th. The Hazleton Public Transit Office has announced that their office will be closed Thursday, November 23rd and Friday, November 24th, in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. There will also be no bus services offered on Thursday, November 23rd. All bus services will resume on Friday, November 24th. Any questions regarding the bus schedules or closures can be directed to Easton Coach at 570-497-4610. A Pittston man has been arrested for allegedly selling drugs. Pittston police say they began investigating Tazell Curtis in November of 2023. A search warrant of Curtis's home on Tompkins Street was executed on November 16th. Following the search, police say Curtis was charged with manufacture, delivery, or possession with the intent to manufacture or deliver, and use or possession of drug paraphernalia, among other charges. Curtis is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility. His bail is set at $50,000. A Plains Township woman has been charged after police say she stole from a Walmart and fled from police. According to Wilkes-Barre Township Police, Fanny Patricia Kistner stole merchandise from the Wilkes-Barre Walmart and then fled to the Hilton Hotel. Police say Kistner was found in the hotel bathroom attempting to change her clothing and appearance. Kistner has been charged with retail theft, evading arrest, tampering with evidence, and use of drug paraphernalia, among other charges. Coming up on WYLN News, a man is arrested at Great Wolf Lodge. Plus, we learn more about Winterfest in Bloomsburg. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Adi, and now we're going to be cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
It's time for Winterfest at the Bloomsburg Fair. Enjoy holiday fun the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving, November 24th and 25th from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. Shop over 200 craft vendors, including local wineries and distilleries, that will be inside 4 fair buildings. Fill your belly with some delicious goodies from a variety of food vendors as you listen to live music. Take a horse-drawn ride around the fairgrounds. Get photos with me, Santa. There's something for everyone, plus free admission and parking. Details on the Bloomsburg Fair Facebook page.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A man was arrested at Great Wolf Lodge in Scott Run after police say he was found with a large amount of heroin. Officers say they were first called to the scene on the afternoon of November 12th for reports of a highly intoxicated man, later identified as Eric Gentile. According to police, Gentile had a large amount of heroin and suspected cocaine in his possession. Investigators were also told by security at Great Wolf Lodge that Gentile had allegedly tried to get rid of hypodermic needles in the bathroom garbage. Gentile has been charged with drug possession and public drunkenness. He is currently behind bars at the Monroe County Correctional Facility. Bloomsburg Winterfest is just days away, and we spoke with Winterfest committee member Bethany Stoltz about how the event helps out local organizations every year.
Different people that benefit from Winterfest are Agape, the Children's Museum, the Scouts, the Animal Resource Center, and then our local dance studios, so Dance Works by Amber and Strike a Pose Dance Studio.
Stoltz also told us how some of these organizations benefit at Winterfest.
Agape, Children's Museum, they all have spots here that they can help do. Like Agape, they do our raffle tickets, and then the Children's Museum, they help out with the kids and stuff like that. And then for our dance studios, they perform, entertain, so that helps get their name out there when local people come and watch them perform at these things.
Bloomsburg Winterfest will be held on Friday, November 24th and Saturday, November 25th. The event will feature food, crafts, and fun for the entire family. Admission is free for all attendees. A man has been arrested in connection with a burglary in Bloomsburg. According to police, Jonathan Gears stole several items from a warehouse on Maple Street in Bloomsburg, including a generator. Police say Gears' vehicle matched the description of a vehicle seen in the area at the time of the crime, and that the stolen generator was visible through his rear window. The vehicle was then seized and the search warrant was executed, revealing the remainder of the stolen items. Gears has been charged with burglary, criminal trespass, theft, and possession of a controlled substance, among other charges. Sheetz is celebrating Thanksgiving week with lower gas prices. According to officials, unleaded 88 gas prices will be reduced to $1.99 a gallon at all Sheetz locations carrying that fuel grade in Pennsylvania. The reduced prices will run from Monday, November 20th to Monday, November 27th at 11:59 p.m. To check if your local Sheetz sells this grade of gasoline, you can visit Sheetz' website at sheetz.com. Coming up on Pittston's News Choice, Ryan Prosick is back on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, Trooper Anthony Petrosky is back on Trooper Talk Tuesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Chris Kindlefest and holiday concert featuring the Hazleton Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra directed by Robert Lagana will be held Saturday, December 2nd at Christ Lutheran Church, Church and Green Streets in Hazleton, with beautiful crafts for sale, a tricky tray auction, and make sure you check out their Tannenbaum Tea Room, where you can enjoy tea, scones, and other treats. Experience the full light and sound display featuring the Nativity message, and St. Nicholas will make an appearance. The concert starts at 4 and there's no admission fee. Check out Chris Kindlefest at the Christ Lutheran Church.
Lehigh Valley Topper Cancer Institute brings the next level of cancer care to the greater Hazleton region. The new cancer center on the campus of Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is now open and offers an advanced radiation therapy program, an expanded infusion suite with private treatment rooms, and the latest telemedicine technologies. The Cancer Center at LVH Hazleton, offering world-class cancer care closer to home. To learn more, visit lvhn.org/Hazleton Cancer Center.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations,
Route 93 in Escapec,
or downtown Hazleton,
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey folks, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, check out on Jomira's story. For 3 years, she had back pain, and within 10 days, she's feeling much better. So tune in.
Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Let's Talk Sports. Obviously, you could see I'm wearing green, so you know what that means. The Eagles picked up a huge win last night on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. Obviously, it wasn't pretty. I said I didn't have confidence. I was right to not have confidence, especially after that first half of play. It was very ugly. Defense was doing anything it wanted to the Eagles' offensive line, but those halftime adjustments, they came through. And got to give all the credit in the world to Jalen Hurts and, of course, the defense for getting it done. And Devontae Smith and DeAndre Swift as well. Everyone was showing up for Philadelphia as they picked up the 21-17 win. I said by a field goal. It was by 4 points. Close enough. But it's one of those things where this is a much-needed win for the Eagles as they are continuing this tough stretch of games coming up here. They have the Bills, they have the Seahawks on there, they have the Niners as well. So it doesn't get much easier for the Eagles, if at all. So this is a big step to picking up that 1 seed in the NFC with San Francisco and Detroit closely tailing behind them. Also, we have Kansas City's side of things, which obviously I have to make the joke. Obviously, the Chiefs could use someone like Tyreek Hill. I know it's played out and it's terrible, but I had to mention it one time on the show. But it's one of those things where if that was any other wide receiver, Tyreek Hill or anyone even a tier or two down, they probably would have caught that, and the Eagles would be looking at a loss right now. Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been known for his drops over the years, and he added another big one to the list last night. Obviously, the Chiefs didn't look like themselves on offense. They haven't been. They've been shut out for a couple of second halves now. Travis Kelce had some uncharacteristic drops, and no one else was there to help him because they didn't have any wide receiver help. Rashee Rice, like I said, was decent in the game, but that's about it. And I don't know. It's time to maybe panic a little bit on the Chiefs there. Maybe they can't beat the top teams without a top wide receiver. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see both of these teams moving forward, as there's a pretty high chance they might play again unless Baltimore or Detroit or San Francisco has something to say about it, but we might see this again in February as a rematch. But moving on, we got to talk about the Sunday slate. It's Tuesday and we haven't already talked about Sunday, so it's kind of uncharacteristic here, but you had to take some time on that Monday Night Football game because it delivered to the hype, I think. I mean, maybe because my team walked out of there with a win, but things happen. And speaking of things happening, perfect segue into Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. Pittsburgh lost 13-10, but they won. They won deep down, especially the fans did. They finally fired offensive coordinator Matt Canada. I woke up to my phone this morning with a bunch of joyous texts, didn't expect this to happen mid-season. They were kind of celebrating in my phone like they won the Super Bowl. So good for them, and obviously, hopefully this is good for Kenny Pickett and company going forward, but I don't know. He's one of the worst historical quarterbacks to ever play the game so far by a stats perspective. Touchdown percentage is under 2% of his passes. It's the only career to do that with over 500 dropbacks. I was remembering the stat there correctly. It seems kind of picked out, but when you look at it through over the years with all the quarterbacks with 500 dropbacks, it's basically a little less than what a season amounts to. A little more if you're starting halfway through, but it's the lowest. So it's not looking good there in Pittsburgh. We also saw Detroit beat Chicago 31-26. Obviously, the walk-off touchdown by David Montgomery. How could you have it any other way? It was basically storybook ending for David Montgomery as the Lions completed the comeback against the Bears. We also saw the Chargers follow the Packers 23-20. Tough stuff there for the Chargers. Quentin Johnston had probably one of the worst drops of the year. If Marquez Valdes-Scantling didn't follow that up with one of the worst drops of the year on Monday night, we'd still be talking about the Johnston drop, but he got a little saved by the Chiefs. but it's not a good rookie year for him. And Green Bay picked up a win that I might drop them back a little bit in the quarterback standings for the draft. So feels kind of like a meaningless win, even though no wins are meaningless if you're picking up what I'm throwing down. But we also had the Las Vegas Raiders take on the Miami Dolphins. Nothing spectacular here. Tyreek Hill, almost going for 150 yards. It's just Tyreek Hill things. I should be impressed, but I feel like none of us are really impressed anymore. We just expect it, but they get the touchdown win, 20-13. We have the Giants over the Washington Commanders, 31-19. I did not see this one coming, and Tommy DeVito pulled through for the squad, throwing 3 touchdowns. And you know what that means? He has more career 3-touchdown games than Kenny Pickett. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. I'm sorry. The stat's true. I had to go there. But anyway, this kind of vaults New York out of drafting a quarterback a little bit. Like, this is that point of the year where the losing teams, it doesn't benefit them to win. Maybe team morale, maybe getting people to stay around. But if you're, costing yourself Caleb Williams or Drake May at this point, I don't know what to tell you because it's kind of rough, and they're both franchise quarterbacks, at least from the looks of it right now. We also had Dallas at Carolina, 33-10. Obviously, Dallas just scored however they want on the Panthers, and that Bryce Young trade's looking like one of the worst trades in NFL history, but he's still some time to prove himself. And we also have Tennessee at Jacksonville. And speaking of trades and all that stuff, Tennessee should have traded off Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins and, gave them a chance to compete because they kind of talked themselves into being competitive. They did trade Kevin Byard to the Eagles, but they're not competitive. The Jags had their number, 34-14. And Calvin Ridley, welcome back. He didn't, return from anything. He just, returned to fantasy lineups with a storm after the 2-touchdown performance. He's been kind of slacking as of late. Might be Trevor Lawrence, might be him. Who really knows? But anyway, a big win for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we're going to wrap it up with a big win for the Houston Texans over the Arizona Cardinals, 21-16. CJ Stroud did throw 3 interceptions, and it kind of tarnishes his record a little bit, as he was the longest to go without an interception to start his career, but it has to end at some point. But Houston did good, and they did great in the draft, and they'll look to keep winning and make the playoffs. So good for them, but we'll recap the rest of the slate tomorrow. So we will see you right back here on Let's Talk Sports. Have a good one.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi Electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialist, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
It's time for Winterfest at the Bloomsburg Fair. Enjoy holiday fun the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. Shop over 200 craft vendors, including local wineries and distilleries that will be inside 4 fair buildings. Meet me, Santa. I arrive Friday night via the Parade of Lights, ending its parade route at the fairgrounds. See a puppet show or make a craft. Enter the cookie or chili contest. Participate in the Fa La La 5K. There's something for everyone. Ho, ho. Plus free admission and parking. Details on the Bloomsburg Fair Facebook page.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Trooper Talk Tuesday. I'm Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Troop N Public Information Officer. We're here today outside Troop N Hazleton headquarters, and today I want to talk to you about texting and driving. Now, we all know in the state of Pennsylvania, you can use your cell phone to make calls while you're driving. I suggest using a Bluetooth technology within your vehicle or hands-free calling because it is much safer. It keeps your eyes on the road, it keeps your hands on the steering wheel, but at this point, it's still legal to use your cell phone to make or receive calls while you're driving. But let's switch it up. To write a text is illegal while you're in actual control of the motor vehicle. So that means while you're driving, that means while you're stopped at a stop sign or a red light. You're still in control of that vehicle, it's illegal to do. It also means it's illegal while you're in control of the vehicle to read the text message. Not just to write one, but to read it. Why? Because that takes your eyes off of the road. We want your eyes on the road. See, when you're texting, you're taking your eyes off the road. You're putting not only yourself and everybody in your car at risk of danger getting hurt, but you're putting everybody else on the road at risk. We want you to maintain your eyes out the road at all time. According to NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the average text message is about 5 seconds. So if you're traveling 45 to 50 miles per hour, that's like traveling the entire length of a football field with your eyes closed. So I hope that puts it into perspective. It's not worth it. Now, if you're expecting a very important text message or even email from maybe your employer or somebody close to you, and you hear that phone go off, I have the answer for you. Pull over. Read your text message, write your response, and then safely get back on the road. That is the responsible thing to do. And as a driver in Pennsylvania, we have to be responsible. Otherwise, you can face serious citations that not only have fines associated with them, but it could cause you points on your license through PennDOT, and you could lose your license. It's not worth it. Keep everybody safe. Pull over if you need to, and just know that it can wait. I'm Trooper Petrosky, and I'll catch you next time here on Trooper Talk Tuesday.
If you're just tuning in, here's a recap of our top stories. A man police say was involved in a double homicide in New Philadelphia has been released from prison. Officials say 19-year-old Lamore Branch was released from prison on Monday after his bail was reduced to $10,000 during the hearing last week. Police say Branch's property was searched as part of an investigation into the deaths of 16-year-old Angelito Xavier Caraballo and 18-year-old Hunter Mock. Although police have not named Branch as a suspect in the homicide, the search warrant claimed he was connected with the case. A preliminary hearing has been scheduled for Branch on December 5th in connection with a different case. In that case, Branch faces charges of burglary, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. Pennsylvania State Police in Hazleton responded to Banks Township Monday evening for reported stabbing. Officers say they were called to Berwick Street at approximately 10 p.m. where they found two individuals. The suspect, later identified through the investigation as 24-year-old Nashir Dobson, and a 41-year-old male victim who was stabbed in the leg at the residence. It was discovered by troopers that the victim had arterial bleeding. Troopers say they applied a tourniquet to the victim's leg, and the victim was transported to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest. Dobson was then taken into custody and charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, and attempted homicide. Dobson is currently behind bars at the Carbon County Jail. Troopers say the investigation into this incident is still ongoing.
And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our YouTube, Facebook, or at our website at wylntv.com. Stay with us for a look at the weather.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.